Hi, this is Majinoni, and here's my review for The Age of Apocalypse number 1 and 2. Now, I'm going to do them both at the same time, so I might be flipping from one to the other, uh, but just because I'd rather just tell it as one cohesive story rather than, like, separately. Now, overall, I'll say the art is pretty decent. Um, the the art style that the two guys that they're using for at least these two issues, Man and Kurtz, or Kurt, is they have really similar art style, as you can see. So, I mean, while you can certainly tell these people apart, they're not so vastly different that it's noticeable. Like how sometimes like you'll have a crossover where you have, let's say, very thin line artist, and then the next issue it's very thick lines with uh, blocky characters. Like so it's really noticeable. In this case, it's not that bad. It's not just because you have two different artists. It's not that bad of a distraction. Now, I think some of the character designs are kind of interesting. Um, most of the new character designs that I like, I had to wait for the end of chapter 2, because this is, I guess, this is what the new mutants would be. Because you have, it looks like Magma, and this is Dana or Diane, whatever, Moonstar. I'm not this could be Sunspot, but I'm not 100% positive. And that looks like Warlock. And let's see. I think I said these character designs were nice. Basilisk, who's Cyclops, which is this guy right here. On one hand, I don't like it, but on the other hand, I think it's an interesting idea. So I'm like, okay, I'm definitely okay with that. The Magneto character right here is okay. Gambit's kind of boring. Rogue is actually kind of interesting. They call her the Reaper, and basically what she does is, she still has the powers of, the memory and then the memory, power absorption, but they never use her in battle. It's the only time they ever call her in is if you have a character that's about to die. Then what she does is she comes down and absorbs everything from that person, and that way that person lives on through her. Which, I guess on one hand it's a good thing that you're doing that. You're creating basically a super mutant. On the other hand, you don't have a valuable character on the battlefield. One thing that was kind of interesting is, Cyclops is in the X-Men is, the primary leader, but in this, he's not. Obviously he's the troubled character, and actually you have like Magneto in charge, and then you have Sam Cannonball, who's more of a field leader. So I thought that was kind of interesting. That kind of changed. Colossus right here looks a little bit different. It looks like, I don't know, there's something off with his arms, and I'm not sure if that's just the way he mutated, or is it just due to the excessive battle that they're doing. Let's see. What else do we have here? Now, basically what happens is in this world, it's like the anti-mutant hysteria went too far, and basically humans are killing all the mutants. So what happened is all the mutants went to one citadel, and then they're fortifying that one citadel. Now, and then so what they encounter is the human attacks constantly. Now, there's a group of 5 mutants that basically create a field around the base, and then what happens is the humans just keep bashing all of their resources to destroy the shield. When they finally get through, then the rest of the mutants get involved. And the mutants, basically, the shield mutants, basically just update the shield daily type thing. Now, one thing I found another thing that was kind of interesting is Warlock. If you remember in the Mutants, Warlock, when he killed somebody, he freaked out. In this case, Warlock doesn't care, he just kills, as you can see down here. But, I can understand through probably watching countless friends getting killed, and then the constant strain of battle, it probably would turn him into that kind of a person. Overall, I didn't think that this book was that bad of a lose like I thought it was going to be, but at the same time, I'm not going, oh my god, look at this great piece of comic history. There's they've done a lot of things that I think are unique, but and basically keeping me interested in seeing what's going on next. But at the other hand, I'm not totally on board. From what the first chapter is basically obviously your basic setup, and in chapter 2, now this is where the story is going to drive to. Now, Reaper, the characters encounter Kitty Pryde out in the combat zone type thing, and she was looking for something. So Reaper goes out and she grabs it later when she finds out it's a camera. She takes it to Box, and Box is like, well, there's nothing in here. I went through these photos. There's nothing. Rogue isn't satisfied with that, and she wants to talk to Kitty Pryde. Magneto basically says no, so Rogue obviously is going to ignore Magneto's orders, and she goes to check on Kitty Pryde. Also, there's Blindfold from the other New Mutants, in Marvel proper universe. She's involved in this somehow, so that's where you're going to get probably have the crossover between the characters. So Kitty Pryde in this universe, she's she still has her phasing powers, but she's got an attitude, and she's not being very cooperative to Rogue, and it basically ends with Rogue basically going rogue, and trying, because she disobeyed the orders, they're trying to capture her, and she leaves. And when I say leaves, I don't mean she's like leaving the Citadel and stuff like that, but she's basically running away. And then the New Mutants have to track her down. Now, one thing that really surprised me was what they did to Wolverine. Now, if you remember in that prelude thing, Wolverine was in really messed up shape. He had taken that serum, and which basically was going to take away your mutant power type thing, and he got captured. Well, in this issue here, he apparently got freed or escaped. And on one hand, I applaud what they did. At the other hand, it just really disappointed me 100%. They basically turned him into a bartender who can't fight any longer, because he said if he pops his claws out, he's going to die. Now, that obviously is a very disappointment, because you would expect to see Wolverine claws out in the front lines in the assassination squad killing, right? So that's what you would expect. And what I applaud their decision is the fact that they held that back. They took that card off the playing field, and I thought that was a gutsy move to change Wolverine to such a degree. And that's why I'm torn. On one hand, I want him to be the killing machine. On the other hand, I was surprised they turned him into this character that basically can't fight any longer. And he's really subdued compared to what he usually is like. So that's what I'm saying. I'm torn by that. He's definitely not the stereotype character that you thought he was going to be. Now, like I said, overall, I thought it was an entertaining read. I just don't think that it was strong yet. Now, it's possible that this is going to pull itself out, and it's going to become like an incredible read. But for right now, I'm not sure. They definitely have the pieces in place where it could actually turn into something that's interesting. Hopefully, we'll see over time what's going to happen, and hopefully this will turn out to be a good read. So it's a tentative thumbs up so far. Tentative. And if you saw my other video about Age of X, you'll know I definitely was not into this. So for them to at least go that much shows something. That there might be something here. But I don't know if it's going to last. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. Rate the video up or down. Let me know what you think. And if you did buy this, I'm really curious to see what you guys thought. I know for a fact there's going to be people out there who are just going to hate this thing. Just hate it to no end. But I think, I don't know, there's some interesting parts to it. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. And I'll have more reviews up later. So until next time.